Hannah here at the 4-H office. Just wanted to share with you an exciting 4-H project that you can make for Mother's Day. It is coming up this coming Sunday, using some recycled materials in your project. So what we're actually going to make are drawer handle coat hooks, coat racks, using a block of wood, ruler, brush, pencil. I have different assorted hangers for the back of our project. We also need a screwdriver to pop the top on our stain that we're going to use today. I have my drill with drill bit that matches the size of the screws that I'm going to be using, and 2 drawer handles. So my drawer handles, and to get started for your project, you need to measure. Make sure you have the right thickness of wood so that when you do drill through, your screws will fit and you can screw the front of your drawer handle on. If you have a different type of drawer handle, just take a look at it, find out if you need to come through the back, through the front, drill through all the way. Please make sure to ask mom and dad or a responsible adult who should be with you when you're using a drill and doing this project. So as I look at my block of wood, I'm just going to take the screw, take a look at it, see that it does go through, and I have plenty extra to screw the front of my drawer handle onto. So to get started, I'm going to take a look at my block of wood, figure out what I want for the front and what I want for the back. I have a piece of cardboard down as a work surface, both for drilling and for staining. Now to get our drawer handles, which I only have 2, to get them evenly spaced, I'm actually going to measure my piece of wood and try to get them at the same spot, the same distance in. So my block of wood is just over 12 inches. I think I'm going to come in 3 inches on each side. Make a mark at 3 inches. Make a couple marks. We're actually going to connect my little lines again. 3 inches from this end. Draw my line, and you can draw very lightly. These will erase if you're using a pencil. Remember, this is the back. And the reason I am going to be drilling before staining is to make sure that there's no exposed wood after I'm done. Alright, so I'm about 2 1/4. Divide that in half. Make my little mark. Alright, and where your 2 lines intersect is where you will be drilling. It's your point of drilling. So I'm just going to drill totally all the way through my piece of wood. Doing the other hole. And I do have some wood that has come through from my drilling. So I'm actually just going to go back through just to even that up. I'm also going to just take the burrs off, the little extra pieces. You can grab a piece of sandpaper to do it, or if you can chip them off with your fingernail. Once I have my holes drilled, I am going to make sure I get all the sawdust out of the way. Take a look at it. It's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to shake my stain. You can also paint these if you want, if you don't have some stain. And I'm going to start staining my project. Remember, if you're using stain or any sort of paint, you want to use these in a very well-ventilated area. Definitely make sure that you have on old clothes when you're using stain, because if it gets on your clothes, it's not coming out. I'm just going to dip my brush and brush my stain on. You can also wear gloves for this project if you don't want messy fingers. I'm trying to do a nice even brushing so I don't have any pools of stain. I just grab up this end real quick. It's totally up to you what shade you would like. If you want a lighter shade, you're only going to use 1 coat of stain. If you want something a little darker, you're going to use 2 coats or more. Of course, I always recommend reading the can, reading the instructions, and following the instructions on the can. So I'm getting a nice brown color here. Whoop. Turn that right around. I have a little too much, so I'm going to get the excess off. Get my coat nice and even. All right, stained the whole front and the sides of my hanger. What I'm going to do is let this dry for 6 hours per the instructions on the can, and then I'm going to flip it and do the back. Get that stained up nice, and once that is totally dry, then we'll install the drawers knobs onto it to finish our hanger, plus our hangers on the back. Alright, so I waited the 6 hours and I've got my front, my sides all dried. I did stain the back, I flipped it over, and I've let that dry for a few hours to get my polyurethane on there. And then I realized I forgot to drill the holes for the hangers. So I'm going to start that. I've measured and marked, and we're going to drill those. This I don't have to go all the way through for because my hangers aren't quite as big as my drawer knobs. Get all that sawdust off that. Actually, it doesn't look too bad that I don't have the polyurethane on it. Came out quite clear. Make sure all that's out of there. So what I'm going to actually start first is to put my drawer knobs in. And to do that, I'm just going to unthread this other one. And put this, the way my drawer knob is it's going to feed through the back, and I'm going to screw the fancy part onto the front. So I'm just going to thread my screw through. And this is the part that if you can use a screwdriver, save your fingers. Or you can put the screwdriver head on your drill and do it that way, whichever one, Phillips or flathead. Does take a while. And if you're using metal drawer handles, you can polish them up, you can paint them, or you can leave them rustic, however they look. I just happen to have these lying around the office. They came from a Joann's donation. Alright, so we're getting there. It's a process. And you want them nice and tight so that when you do hang your coat or your purse or book bag or whatever you're making this for, Mom, as a Mother's Day gift, you want it nice and tight so that you don't lose your knob and everything hits the floor when you put some weight on it. So as you can see, I'm starting to thread through the front. So I'm going to go flush with the wood, like so. And then I'm just going to screw the knob on. Make sure that it's tight. You may need an adult to make sure that you've got it. And if it keeps turning, just put the screwdriver in the back and turn against it from the front. And you have your first knob in. So our next step is on the same side. I'm going to put my hanger, and I'm just going to use a couple of small eye hooks and turn them so that they would catch whatever hanger you're using on your wall. So we're just going to screw these in like so that they're in. Just kind of turn them whichever way you want, side to side, up and down. And you're just going to repeat for the other side to complete your hanger. So I'll get to work on that and we'll see what I come up with when I'm done. Alright, so our finished product, I had 2 drawer knobs that I put on my piece of scrap wood to make a coat hanger for Mother's Day. On the back I have my eye hooks all screwed in and at the same level and the same direction to hang it on. So, to find out more about Shenango County 4-H, visit us on Shenango County 4-H at Facebook and on our YouTube channel, Shenango County 4-H. I hope you have a great day and a great Mother's Day, and everybody's well and safe.